Screencast 20, Editing Auto Design Templates. So I've created this report called Demo Data Method for Data Region. I'll preview the report. I built it between the last screencast and this one. I'm not going to go into how this works to get the data, but I just want to show you the report. Okay, it's obviously using the layout and style templates that are in the shared library. You can just tell by the way it looks. What is this report? It just lists the types and just basically lists all the methods in one of the .NET assemblies, the one that contains string. And you can see this type, the full name, and the method name. Right? We're going to use this data set a lot. But what I want to show you is focus less on the data right now and just the styling of it. I'll close the preview. And in my last screencast, I created this sample template report library that contains table plain. Let's go ahead and set that here on this data region. We'll switch to table plain. And let's preview, see how that affected the report. And the table should all be magenta. Okay. Not good looking, but it shows you that the template is being used. We close this window. Now what we want to do, that was a table style template, we need to create a report layout style template, and we'll call this layout plain. Okay, got created. And it has several properties. Obviously you can see it controls a header, a footer, and some styles for the sections for body and the header and footer, and this parameter row style. We won't get too far into what those things are at this very moment, but we'll go to report title, and let's take a look at the font. We'll set this from black to red. And now let's take a look at the preview and see how that affected the report. It's taking a bit longer than I expected. Let's see, can I cancel that out and retry? And you notice this red X here. Sometimes that'll let us cancel the preview if it's taking too long, but it's gotten a bit too far into it. So I just have to wait. Okay, it's canceled. Joke's on me. Let's go ahead and just save everything and retry that. Okay, it took a bit longer than expected, but now it's rendered. And my change did not come through. Let's try to understand why that happened. We'll go back to the voxel. And, oh, I didn't change the style template. I must have changed it in a different one. Layout plane is what I wanted. Go back to preview. Hopefully this takes not quite as much time. Okay, there we go. Much faster that time. And we can see the red appear there. So we're using the table style template and the report layout template. And just to make this report rendering a bit faster for myself, I'm going to make a change. It won't be obvious why I'm making this change, so just bear with me. Just ignore what I'm doing. I'm just going to return a little bit less data in this report. Oops. There we go. And I'll build. As you can see from what I just, the change I made, you can infer that the data set for this report is from a data method. It was not actually querying AX. That's how I got the list of all the .NET types and methods. And my change here is if you look at the code, you can sort of tell what's going on. I'm taking the first 100 types in that assembly, and for each type, I'm taking 10 methods. So I should get 1,000 rows. Go back to preview, and it should generate this report much faster now. Because if you noticed, it was 39 pages, and that was part of the problem. Okay, it was a little bit faster. So again, you can see the templates. And what I'm going to do now is show you how to edit the templates and give you a little tip. So we'll go to the layout plane. Actually, go back to preview for a second. Notice this is all Arial here in the entire report. Our goal will be to change the report to use Sego UI for all these pieces of text. Now, if you go to report style template, to control text, you're going to edit a bunch of nodes. And where are these nodes? I'm going to expose all these sections here so you can get all the leaf nodes. And it may be not very obvious, but look at the icons. Notice that the report title obviously is a text box. You can see a little A there in that box. But look below it for the style. This icon, you should interpret that to mean this is the formatting for essentially a text block, right? And it's all over the place. Not everything has it. Here's the footer. Oh my gosh, there are a lot, right? And what would we have to do to edit one? We would go to that node, the style, and we go to font, and we would change it to, let's say, we want black here, but we want the font to be Sego UI, which I'll just type in. So that was great, but now, wow, I've got quite a job ahead of me, right? So there's a trick though. And the trick is you can select all those style nodes by control clicking. And don't select something that isn't one of these nodes with a special icon. If you do that, this is not going to work. So it looks like I've selected everything, and then we will change the font here. Notice the selection still applies to Go UI. And it'll take a second because it's processing all the nodes, right? And just to be clear for you, because you may not be able to see the effect, I'm going to change the color to kind of a not very intense green, lime green. It'll take a second or two to set all the properties. Okay, and if you select one, I did the footer template user ID. You can see lime, datetime, lime, perfect. Let's save this. Go to the data region, and we'll do I wanted table plain, do the same thing. We have a lot of properties here. You just want to capture them all. Expand all the nodes, and one by one, very carefully trying to avoid clicking on these other nodes, because that'll disrupt, and I'll lose the ability to select the properties I want. There, and I'll select the font to be Seago UI. Okay, it's done with that. And again, to make sure that it's obvious I made a change, I'll change this also to Lime. I'm just waiting for it to process. Oh, I picked Honeydew accidentally. I meant Lime. Normally I wouldn't have corrected that mistake, but Honeydew is such a light color you may have trouble seeing it when you watch the video. So it's worth the time to fix it now. Okay, Lime, and again we'll confirm that everything is, yep, all these properties are showing Lime. Now let's go and preview save everything and preview the report. There we go, Lime everywhere. And everything is now in Seago UI, though it may be a little bit hard to see in this case. And let me show you one more thing. I told you like you have to select all the nodes the same, otherwise this won't work correctly. Let's go to the layout and try. Okay, so you see there's font there, right? So I select style, and you can still see font over on the properties. Style. Let's do a control click. Yep. If I try to select something that isn't one of these styles, these text styles, like I do line style, you see, it all goes away. And that's what I meant. And if I try to unselect it, you'll get back to what you want. Okay, so this shows you how to efficiently set properties across in a single template. Okay, and you can use this to quickly develop the fonts and the styling you want in all your layout or style templates. Okay, and that's it for this screencast. See you next time.